Slayer Swordsmith Village episode 8 review. Man, another beautiful episode. Dog, we don't miss with this series, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so for this episode we finally get a deep dive into Tokito, okay, or Muichiro, as we find out as the episode proceeds. So after my boy comes out of the water prison, you know, he's still dealing with the after effects of that poison that those fish had put in him, right? And my boy is weak, you know, he's got no strength, and that time he has a couple of demons that are about to attack him. And next to him there is my boy Kotetsu. He's blacked out from the stabbing he got from one of those demons. And I will say, man, you know, shout out to Kotetsu, man, such a brave little kid, right? So we get a full background story of Muichiro. So this dude, you know, he was such a nice, innocent kid who used to admire his father. So his father was a woodcutter. He used to help him, right? And unfortunately, he used to have a sickly mother as well. So in that same year, my boy lost both of his parents, right? Which was quite sad. So his mother was very sickly, and his father actually died trying to get some help for his mother in the middle of a storm. But then again, Tokito's dead, bro. What were you thinking, though? Like, honestly, I can sort of understand that you wanted to help your wife, but why on earth would you go out there and pick that herb up in the middle of a storm like that, right? Which was one thing that was a frustration to Muichiro's brother, twin brother, which we find out was Yuichiro, right? After both of their parents die, the relationship between these two kids actually breaks down, you know, whereby Yuichiro is under the impression that, you know, people are stupid, dude. They don't use logic. Why did his dad have to go look for the herb on the same night where there was a storm? They could have lost only their mother, but because of his actions, both of them died. And also that, you know, people who do nice things for people, they end up being the loser. You know, they say nice guys finish last, no good deed goes unpunished, which is quite true, you know. But yeah, so they get approached by the master's wife one day, because these guys are actually from they are descendants of the first breathing technique, right? They're descendants of Yuichiro, the original or the first user of the sun breathing technique, right? And she wants to recruit them to train them. And I mean, think about if these guys had actually been trained, both of them, you know, both of them being a Hashira, imagine how much of a force there would be, because I'm pretty sure they would relatively be moving around together as twins. I'm just assuming, right? But Yuichiro actually rejects that, to say that people like them, what can they actually do as kids? It's not like they can add any value despite them being descendants of the first breathing technique, but only to find out that, man, he couldn't be further from the truth. So what ends up happening is that in one night there's a demon that attacks them, right? And to be honest with you, I think that this demon was probably sent by Muzan, because if you remember to the Infinity Castle, right, in episode 1, Muzan was actually pissed off because these guys couldn't locate I believe it was probably Tokito's family. You know, there was a family that Muzan was bitching about. He was complaining about it. But he does, you know, manage to send a demon that locates these two boys. And I mean, this demon is about to go on attack. And, you know, Yuichiro jumps on the way to protect Muichiro. And I mean, it takes off an arm, bro. Takes off an arm, gruesome. This kid is bleeding all over the place. Both of them are scared. And the crazy part is that this demon says something so crazy. He says to them that, you know, a couple of poor woodcutters, you guys aren't worth anything. Imagine that being your last worldview. The fact that somebody's looking down on you and this person is about to take your life. That's something that's actually very, very scary, right? And then, you know, he's like, silence, you know, not one word, and he's about to finish them off. And then my boy Muichiro sees red. Okay, first breathing or sun breathing, he takes out the demon, dude. You know, he sees red, literally. Okay, he kills this guy, you know, uses everything around him. I mean, he's using bricks. I mean, not bricks, he's using stones, he's using garden tools, he's using shovels, hammers, you know. And I appreciated that scene because it also reaffirmed that these guys have super strength. You know, guys like Tanjiro, Zenitsu, Inosuke, because of the fact that they can use breathing techniques, they're actually not human. Because there is no way that Muichiro could have done that without, you know, some form of super strength, because he was just using regular tools to take down that guy. And then the sun comes out and it evaporates him. And then that's where he actually lost his memories because of the trauma that my boy had actually endured. Now, the one thing that I will say is that I appreciate also the fact of how original all of these guys' stories are, right? And for some odd reason, it looks like all of them are gonna have some terrible background story which motivates them, you know, to join the Demon Slayer Corps, right? I mean, we've seen with Tanjiro, we've seen with Genya and his brother, and now Tokito. I can't wait to also see Lady, the Love Hashira's background story. What was her motivations in order for her to join the Demon Slayer Corps, right? Then my boy went on to train and became a Hashira, a protege, if I may say so myself. And then we go back to the present time. My boy finally summons fresh breathing, right? But it's being used through his mist breathing, right? So it means that you can actually use fresh breathing and apply it to your respective breathing technique, right? We see the drawings show up on his mouth, similar to how Tanjiro does, and he makes quick work of those little fish demons, man. Then he proceeds, my boy, to go after Gyoko. And I told you, Gyoko, once my boy gets the hell out of there, bro, man, you're gonna get the beating of your life, okay? Walks in there, doesn't even hesitate, tries to slash Gyoko, but fortunately, dude, Gyoko is fast as hell. He sort of has like teleportation powers, I'm not gonna lie. The way he's able to move between these vases, okay? There has to be a trick to it. I think he has teleportation powers, I'm not gonna lie. And then Gyoko manages to dodge, and then Gyoko also gets excited and happy by the mere fact that, you know, he was so zoned in that he didn't even pick up Tokito approaching him from the back, right? And then he uses this cool attack, dog, where he summons like an octopus from like a vase, and you know, not just any octopus, like it was quite a strong octopus, because Tokito tries to cut it, he doesn't manage. It even blows up that house. My boy Mr. Hakanazuka is still focused on honing his sword, and funny enough, while they were still in the building, Gyoko was actually trying to torture him, took out his eye, scratched him, you know, because he did say that he's gonna take his time, you know, killing this guy. He's not going to make it sudden. But Mr. Hakanazuka is still there, he's still zoned in, he's still focused, right? After the building blows up, Mr. Hakanazuka picks up his brick, whatever it is, goes back to sharpening Tanjiro's sword. Man, Tanjiro is gonna be different once he gets the sword. I'm not gonna lie, right? In the interim, Mr. Kanamori also gives Tokito his own sword. He finally finished it, and I mean, Tokito, bro, he just elevates, okay? So that octopus, it has Tokito as well as Kotetsu in a hold, and my boy makes quick work of it, slashes it, gets on the ground, and you know, he starts thanking Mr. Kanamori, and Mr. Kanamori is just saying, nah, man, I just made it to the specifications of your previous swordsmith, right? And I mean, dude, Tokito is just waving around that sword, bro. He's like, it fits like a glove, and it looks so beautiful, right? The design of that sword or katana, whatever it is, bro, was so well realized, right? They didn't play with the graphics to just demonstrate how well crafted it was, you know. And to also speak to Mr. Kanamori as well as Mr. Hakanazuka, I love the fact that you're taking time to actually appreciate their craft, right? You can see that for Mr. Hakanazuka, sharpening that sword that belongs to Tanjiro is such a, you know, it's art. You know, he's putting in the work and the time to make it perfect for Tanjiro. And when my boy does get it, oh man, the guys are gonna see flame. But anyway, dude, my boy Tokito uses fifth form misbreathing. Hey, flip, I forgot the word, bro. Fifth form sea of clouds and haze, cuts through all of those octopus hands and goes for my man Gyoko. And I mean, I love how, you know, that mist is well realized. In fact, I'm gonna extrapolate it to all of these breathing forms, dude. They are so well realized, and Tokito is moving so fast that Gyoko is actually starting to complain about it. The mere fact that, you know, he had been poisoned, and now this dude is moving faster, he's stronger, and Gyoko manages to evade Tokito's attack, and he gets on the tree, right, and he starts talking smack. And then Tokito tells him that, dude, are you have you lost some of your senses because you've lived for so many years, for hundreds of years, you're old, right? And we see him get cut in the neck, and those nasty little hands actually touch that throat. And Tokito tells him that, dude, I'm gonna cut you the next time. I'm gonna cut you. And I loved the confidence of that boy. We see the marks now, and Gyoko also starts to recognize that, shit, this dude has those same marks as Tanjiro, right? And just as Tokito is about to go on another attack, Gyoko counters and he appears in another spot. I don't know if it's a duplicate or he just teleported that fast and he's about to go for another attack. But yeah, dude, I mean, Gyoko, bro, I'm not gonna lie. You better be ready. But yeah, that's it for the review. Definitely let me know what you enjoyed about episode 8. Leave it in the comment section. Definitely leave a like, and if you enjoy the content, guys, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. I'll check you guys in the next episode. I'm out.